So I think one of the important points, you brought up a really good question. You said, what if everybody was rich, right? Like, what if everybody was equal? It's a weird paradox when we talk about equality. Because you see, I don't believe in equality. I don't believe all humans are equal.
Right.
I don't believe all humans should be equal. I don't believe all humans have the same capacity. Right. I don't believe all humans are capable of the same things and should be treated equally.
Yeah.
In society, we have created this equality as a division.
I think I understand why inequality exists, though. I mean, it's as simple as, like, if you're with a bunch of wealthy people and they all think a similar way, and then you get around somebody who is, makes fucking nothing, they're, like, assholes, they're just, like, they don't take life seriously. Like, why would you want to be around that person in the first place, regardless of whether equality existed yet or not?
So here's the issue. The issue is when we say something is broad as equality isn't good, the ego takes that information as, I'm a member of society, and I do believe all humans have equal rights. It's a very fine subject to be careful not to say equality in humans should be looked at or discussed the same as equal rights of humans in a society.
Right. So you're saying equal rights should be there regardless?
I would hope it is. Unfortunately, it's not. Like, that's one of the core reasons why this book is very timely now, because it's time for people no longer to seek equal rights.
Yeah.
But to seek to transcend and overcome even the idea that they have to conform to the bare minimum of rights to exist, right? When people don't tap into creativity, don't overcome the conformity, don't master, then we look at them as inferior beings. Society does too.
What do you mean inferior beings?
Well, look at, for example, you work at a job, and every year you work and you keep getting promoted and you're like making $300-400K. Mm-hmm. Tell me that you walk into McDonald's and you try to order a meal from someone that's sitting behind the counter who barely speaks the language, who doesn't understand how to tap things, can't understand anything you're saying, and the worst part is you ask them, well, how long have you worked there? Like 6 years. You have to understand that some of us always want to evolve and excel and grow, and some of us do not. And so when society looks at and divides the two...
Do you think that, so that's where I'm like, I think that everybody has it in them to want to grow, but they've never even seen a glimpse of growth or what growth was like because of upbringing.
I don't think they have, because I think some people have been through so many karmic personalities and have failed so many times that they have given in to the lack of evolution and to the choice of comfort forever.
You don't think right now that if you went into a McDonald's and you found one of those people that just couldn't even do their fucking job, that you said, look, come with me for 6 months and I will change your fucking life. But you have to want to do it.
I think every single one would leave that McDonald's. If they knew who I was, I walked in and they said, this millionaire guy walked in, told me to do this.
You can't tell them you're a millionaire.
Right. So if I walked in and said that, half of them would tell me, what job? No, that's not what I'm talking about. Like, you're going to grow. How much money? That's not what I'm talking about. You're going to grow and be the best person. This is a job right now.
We should do that experiment.
The other quarter would ask me 100 questions and think about it. And a quarter would actually say, you know what? I'll go with you. And out of that quarter, maybe one guy in 6 months would still be standing.
Right.
Because the problem
wouldn't that be amazing though, to see that? To see somebody
The problem is, I'll give you a very simple example about yourself. You're a talented person. I have asked you to give me 1 year consistently, without argument, just do what you're told to do the way you're told to do it. And you have still shown resistance at times, questioning and everything else. Now, you know my track record, and you still show resistance with... but you also have creativity. So imagine you're like, okay, if there's 4 tiers to humanity, you're like, I'm in tier 2 or 3. I'm not in tier 1.
Yes, but there's a difference though, because I feel like for someone like that, they're at rock bottom.
But that's assuming that they believe they're at rock bottom. That's the problem.
Well, if they leave, don't you think that they are?
In my view, you are at rock bottom.
Financially, yeah.
Right. So what I'm saying is we all have a different definition of that. And I think that is the key. If someone looks in a mirror and sees a lion when they're not even a cat, then they will never evolve to become a lion.
Yeah, but the resistance was never, I don't believe that you're going to pay me what you promised, or I don't believe that we're going to work together good. My resistance has always been if I conform to this, if I choose to use my creativity and my energy here, am I missing out on what could be massive growth here? Right?
But was there massive growth previously? There wasn't. That's why you were there, and that's why this opportunity at the time you took it made sense.
Right.
The same way that someone that works at McDonald's could argue, I am way too smart for this. And I would agree. The question is, if you're too smart for it, then I have two questions.
But that's someone who ends up leaving McDonald's. I'm talking about
But they
somebody
don't. That's the
who
problem. A lot of
has
times,
comfort.
they don't leave. A lot of times, people are in jobs, and you said, do you love your job? I hate it. Do you like it at least? I hate it. Do you like your boss? I hate it. Are you learning something new? Never. Okay, you have every reason to leave. Oh, I can't lose my job. I didn't say lose your job. And I didn't say it's either your job or you're an entrepreneur. Why is it not a better job? How many people message me all the time and say, listen, PJ, I come work for you for free. Where are you located? Like California. How much money do you have in your bank account? Like $1,000. So I try to add 2 and 2 to that thought, to the revelation, to the application. And I'm like, it is so far from reality. What the person is doing is looking in a mirror saying, I'm a lion and I'm going to behave like a lion. Except when they're thrown in the jungle and they meet a real lion that looks at them, they're like, yeah. And they get eaten alive. Because what happens, that guy's going to move here. Let's say that guy has the willpower to be like, I'm changing my life for my daughter. He's going to move here. He's going to run out of money. Immediately, he said he worked for free. So then what's going to happen? He's going to come to me and be like,
Unless he gets another job.
Well,
and
he's
works
going to
for
come to
free,
me and be
but-
like, I need to get another job. Then he's going to start complaining that he's always tired, always working, etc. He's going to start trending towards a job that pays him because even that's not going to be enough as an entry-level job to survive. What occurs, though, people don't connect the reality to their situation. And they get these spurs of motivation and excitement, but they don't build the habits or the function to actually see their dreams true. When I wanted to work in the online space, I wasn't an online person. I didn't understand how things work. I still don't even know how to program my phone. But it didn't matter because I gave myself 5 years to work in the business for free to master it.
Right.
And people said, well, you're crazy. You have this big company here making $50 million. You're going to go and work on a website to teach people? How much money is in that? Best case scenario, you'll make like $2 million in revenue. 50 million, buddy? 2 million. What are you, retarded?
Yeah.
Do you understand how powerful I would be if I dominated the online space without any cost of business, any location, or anything else? It is incredibly ignorant to judge someone's path based on the present.
Right.
And it is ignorant to believe you can overcome the present to get to your evolutionary state in the future without actually facing who you are today. Even someone like me that had money, that wanted to start a business, that had experience, that had all these things, still knew that just because I had all these things, it doesn't automatically translate into everything else I'm going to do.
Right.
It's not automatic that I'm like this god online just because I was like amazing with cars. Like, it doesn't have any correlation.